numbers.
Two numbers.
Two tappers and a finalist. Have you been catching up on the show? Have you been watching, keeping up?
Of course. As soon as I found out that Zack was on, of course I was, keeping up because I've known him from season 9.
Yeah.
But I mean, having two tappers make it instead of just, the one from my season, in my opinion, it brings validity to what it is that I did, and it brought validity to tap. Like having two in it, a boy and a girl, to me was kind of saying like, hey, we're tappers, and we should be considered seriously, like at all times. And to me, tappers are at a disadvantage on the show, in my opinion. You never get to pull your genre, which means that you have to work your butt off to this point and even to do what it was that happened tonight. So to me, it really brought validity to the whole thing, and it made me so proud and then so honored. And I'm their biggest fan because without them doing what they did, I could have never came back as an all-star.
Awesome, and clearly you're Zack's biggest fan. He said you're one of the reasons why he came back.
Touching. I mean, we both were cut together season 9, which was very hard for both of us. And to me, it's just kind of like how it shows that, God makes everything happen the way it's supposed to. Because then we both auditioned season 9, and he didn't even audition season 10 at all. It wasn't like he did and then got cut. Yeah. I auditioned. I made it. Thing happened to Emilio. I snuck in. You know what I'm saying? Followed by him coming in the next season. Yeah. Things could have been so different if we auditioned together. Or if, you see what I'm saying? And because of that, I'm so happy that he was on this season, because then after me completing what I did, he made it as far as I did. Yeah. And then he was capable of bringing me back. Like, that's really a full circle type thing. Really? Like, it was very special. Like, that whole moment. I cried when the show started. Because I just knew I never thought I would be able to do this. And because of them, too, I was.
Why do you think tap is a genre of dance that a lot of people and dancers don't really get into?
I think because it's hard. I think that when, I always try to use the analogy of Kobe and LeBron. When you watch Kobe dance, or when you watch Kobe play basketball, it looks effortless. Yeah. When you watch LeBron do something, you're like, I could never do that. And when you watch some of these tap pieces, they seem so intricate. They seem so aerobic that you're like, well, I can never do that, so I wouldn't want to try. The same way that I feel when I watch a professional ballerina go and do, a pas de deux with a premier dancer. Yeah. I look at it and I'm like, well, that's probably something that I couldn't do. But like I had said earlier, that in my opinion, when I started taking other styles, when I started off with just tap and then hip hop, and then when I started taking ballet and everything else, it really opened the door to my dance vocabulary, and it made me excel in every style. That's the same way I feel about tap. That if you do take tap, it opens up another side of dance that you haven't recognized: musicality, syncopation, like the way that you hear music, creating music. And then I think that because we're so rhythmic in what we do, and because we appreciate the musicianship of tap, it helps us excel in other areas. Yeah. Hip hop, popping, stopping. There's these things that in my opinion, I don't think that you should be considered so full circle until you do give it a chance. The same way that we have to give it a chance with every other genre that we do on the show and can't get to pull tap.
All right. I never really thought of it like that, but it's very true. Very true. Can you tell me something for a DancePlug viewer who's like, okay, well, I've been dancing all my life, and I'm looking at Zack, I'm looking at Aaron, and I'm thinking about taking tap, but I'm 16. Right. It's possibly too late for me. What would you say to them? Is it?
Never too late, for one. Paul didn't start dancing, Paul from my season, until he was 18. And he auditioned at 21. He didn't take any dance at all. Then he only took ballroom for an 18-21 audition. And then on the show was the first time he'd ever tried contemporary. On the show was the first time he ever done dash. So there's never an age that's too late. And two, I also think that sometimes it's helpful when you start later. Like, for instance, if I would have made it on the show when I was 18 or 19, I know for certain that I wouldn't have been capable of making it as far as I did. It took a level of maturity. It took a level of understanding. And tap, at the age of 16, may not be over your head. It may be something that you are capable of getting a nice grasp of. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that it's too late at all. I don't think there's ever an age that's too late. You could be 35. Let's get up right now and let's go do some tap.
Shuffle step. You can tell I don't tap. What's been going on with you?
I've been very fortunate. So you think is to thank for that, but I got an agent now with MSA Agency out here, and awesome. Yeah, I love them. They take good care of me. I'm doing a convention now. I'm doing a convention all over the East Coast.
What convention?
Excel Emotions. Next one I'm doing master classes for tap and hip hop. I'm working for different studios. I work at home at my studio, the one that I trained at. So that's nice being able to stay there and give back because they trained me. Yeah. It allowed me to do what I do. I live in Las Vegas, so I do DJing and these things, and I work with my father. He's an entertainer. He has his own show, and all these things. I've just been so fortunate, and if it wasn't because of this show, pushing dance to the forefront and allowing these opportunities and allowing these doors to open, I don't know where I would be, to be honest with you.
Well, you experienced this just last year. Yeah, what's the word of advice that you could give to the finalists? I know that it's pretty much all said and done at this point. It's in America's hands, but you would have to know that the next few days they're going to be in their heads like, did I do this right? What's the word of advice that you could give them?
The best advice that I can give them is what I think that they're already doing and probably not recognizing it, which is just be yourself. They're being themselves. I don't think that you can make it as far in the show if you weren't comfortable with the type of person that you are. I think all 4 of them are comfortable with who they are. I think they are comfortable in their genres, and I think that they know what they're good at, you know, and they present themselves in the best light, which I think is always the purpose on the show. I think it's something that you always want to be conscious of, is presenting yourself in the best light, presenting dance in the best light, presenting yourself in the best light. And I really think, in my opinion, all of them have done that. All of them have done that the entire time, and I'm their biggest fan. Watching them work this week, like, they're such hard workers. Obviously, I'm a fan of Team Tap. Obviously, I'm biased. I got to work with them personally, but I don't care who wins because they all won. They all made it here. I mean, I didn't win, and I feel great. You know, I feel great just because of what they did, creating history, and they literally all worked so hard. I wish you guys could see how intense these rehearsals actually are.
Well, I saw the Instagram pictures, so I figured you guys were in the trenches.
Oh, yeah. The trenches. Yes, literally.